Hello, guys, and welcome to Ameyaw TV. Today, I have with me a wonderful lady who is doing a lot in terms of empowering other women. And in fact, her organization or business is it tells you that that's what she's doing. She's supporting women, and she's the founder of She One
Wellness Network.
I mean, tell us a bit about that. But first of all, her name is Abena Adarkwah, and she's based in the UK.
Yes, please.
So tell us about your foundation or your network, what you're doing, and what brings you to Ghana.
I live in the UK with my family, and of course, I have my day job there. And the reason I came to Ghana was through the network that I've started or recently started. It was birthed from, I think, in October last year, which is 2024. I was going through a lot, and I think one thing I always say is women will go through a lot.
Men do too.
Yeah, women do. But I have to speak up for us. But you guys don't get monthlies, do you? But we still have to go through the monthlies and still navigate life. And I think that in itself is so tough that it's just underrated how we even appreciate what we go through that period. Because it's not just that one time in the month, it's the week before you get your body bloated, or the week after you get all these things happening to you. And I think navigating, that's a normal part of me. So that's a normal part of every woman. But I think navigating like difficult times, I was finding myself stuck in just feeling like I wasn't progressing. I felt like career-wise, I wasn't progressing. Relationship-wise, I'm married. I've been married for 10 years. And sometimes you have the hiccups and it brings up a lot of stress. And I think most of the times my husband is in Ghana and I'm in the UK with my daughters. And that's a lot. And I think if you know anyone who lives abroad, we hustle. So we can look DB, but there's sweat and there's tears and there's, everything. And I think coming out from a space where like 3 years ago, I went through a really dark place in depression, feeling like, why am I even still here? And I think my faith really helped. And that's one thing I don't take for granted. My faith really helped. So it continued to push me and it kept me alive, let me put it that way, to just do what I need to do the basics. But when the network was birthed was, I think, as I said, October, I was having a conversation with a colleague. So we had finished a team meeting and I was feeling very frustrated because I felt like there was no progression. There was no opportunity to grow. And I love learning. I love growing as well. And of course, doing that with everyone else around me. And I think my colleague called me and what she said was, oh, I could feel your stress. I could feel are you okay? And she spoke to me and I think I vented a bit, And in that moment, she said something. She's like, don't worry, you'll soon have a testimony. And at this point, I think I was between places, where I was living. So I needed to move. And I was just like, it was tough, It was either move back to Ghana or find a place that was properly affordable and, conducive for my daughters and I, and when my husband comes around. And I think when she said that, something struck a chord. And all I could say was, actually, I'm a testimony. I don't have to have all these things ticked off for me to be a testimony. And I think it really hit me like, there's so many women out there who are going through so much and they think they're alone and they don't see hope, And I think it just hit me that I need to just be that hope, be that person that they feel like they can even talk to. And I'm being real. I'm being real with my hardship. I'm not going to sit here and make it look like, yeah, everything's perfect. Because there are days that you cry yourself to bed. And there are women like that. So I think that's what birthed the network. And it's all about wellness and networking. And I make this joke, I'm like, they said it takes a village to raise children, but what if the village is scattered around the world? You need to build that village yourself. So it's about just networking with each other. I always say, if you come to London and you need someone to take care of your kids, like send them. I'm here, I got you. That's how we build the network and we support each other. So yeah, that's what started it.
Great. And how has been the growth for the network since you sort of started in October? How do you get more people to join? What are the kind of people who are joining so far?
So we don't necessarily have like a joining platform just yet. Maybe it's something that we'll soon develop. But when that kind of after that conversation and it struck that according me to do this, I decided, let me host a networking brunch, so that's how it started. And it was self-funded. At that time, I lived in that apartment that I needed to move out of. And we had a lounge that we could use. So it was easy to not have any space to book, to pay for. And I love hosting people. So as part of what I do, I've started running an events management and consulting business. And I go by MC Adarkwah. So I love hosting people. I can entertain your guests for days. And I'm a people person. That's just it. So I thought, let me host this. Let's create this platform where we can all come together and just, have this safe space to talk. And so we started it, and it was very wonderful. And then I had my cousins and I had people in Ghana who saw it, and they're like, oh, we want this here. Can you come and do it? Can you come and do it? And so, of course, in the midst of that, I thought, you know what? I always love it, organizing events and stuff. So it's in the niche. If there's a demand for it, it might not be a lot, but I need to reach just one woman. I don't need to reach a million. If I do, we bless God. But it's the one woman who really is down that I want to speak to. So I thought, let's come to Ghana. We're just having it as a brunch on this occasion. Of course, there's more room for evolution. I am always open for people to talk to me. I'm trying to diverse into psychotherapy very soon so that I have that extra knowledge to even support people who are going through struggle. So for now, we don't have like a joining platform. That's all I'll say. But just visit our Instagram and just keep in touch, and you'll see what's coming up next. So it'll be the next event, and maybe we'll create a community, like, WhatsApp community or something, and then we grow from there.
I mean, the event has an interesting name. What is it called?
So it's the She One Wellness and Networking Brunch, and the theme is celebrating our wins. And it's a reload, of course, because we're in Ghana. And as I said, back to that story, it came from me thinking, do you know what? I actually have a testimony. I have a win. I don't care if I don't know what the next step is, but I have a win. And I think as part of my faith, that helps me to actually appreciate the fact that I've woken up and I have breath in my lungs. And so I think that's just it. And I think that's what we need to do. We don't need to wait for the grand
big win.
Celebrate every day. Like, you see sun, you see rain, celebrate. You see sun, celebrate. And I think this is it. It's underrated. Get a cake. Me, I used to walk around to get my cake. Look at buy a cake and eat. I love dessert, so that's just by the way. But I think it's worth it, and it's worth just putting a smile on your face, because you can easily get down with things that happen in life. And as you said, men do go through a lot, and this is something that I've been working with. I'm hoping to work with other psychotherapists to actually support men, because men don't talk. And I think, it's a struggle. I think it's just, I'm a people person. As much as I want to empower women because of what I go through, I think men also need to.
Great. So let's speak about the Ghana event. When is it happening? Venue, date, time, and everything.
So it's Ghana time. I say this because my event this weekend. People turn up 3 hours later. It's Ghana time. And it's at 1 o'clock, but I would love for people to come early, 12:45, just for registration, welcome drinks, networking. It's a brunch, so it's gonna have food. I think when there's food, there's life, It's at Pera Lounge in East Legon, and it's on Saturday, the 5th of July, 2025. So it's this coming Saturday. I arrived from London on Friday just to make sure I'm a week in advance preparing. Just getting everything set. I've got loads of little goodies for people, for my guests, and I think it's a wellness goodie pack. I just want people to actually also work on themselves in the midst of, learning to speak up. And, I've been on that journey, and that's what I'm going to take people on, that journey of how I actually recovered from that dark place to where I'm at now. Things are not perfect. I just want to be very real. I'm not bringing you a magic pill to make your life perfect, because I still have my days where I struggle. But I want people to actually walk with me on this journey of, faith, of your physical well-being. Like I would go to the gym, I would make time, I'll go swimming. I do things that are, activity-based. So I want people to come along on this journey and, seeking psychological support and things like that. And we thrive from there. So.
Great. I mean, sometimes when we hear wellness, a lot of people gravitate towards maybe fitness, but what is total wellness to you? And yeah.
I like that. So one thing about the event is I'm actually being scared because the agenda is so packed, right? And I think to me, wellness is not just like, that's the thing. When I mentioned it to one lady, she goes, "Oh, she's having a fitness brunch," and I corrected her. Wellness and well-being, encompasses everything that you are. So your mind, your soul, your body, everything about you. And for me, coming out of that journey, I mentioned my faith. I sought help. I actually spoke to a psychologist. I said, I went to a counselor because I was struggling, and I went to speak to them, and I got the right help that I needed. Not everyone can afford, so take advantage of platforms like this that I'm hoping, like currently we're not funded, we don't have any sponsorship, and I'm hoping we'll carry on, and in future years we'll get more sponsorship for people who are vulnerable to actually be able to come without worrying about money. But seek psychological support if you need it. If you have a friend who can recommend someone who can do a discounted rate for you, go for it. And there's charities out there that do that. So we have a psychologist that's coming on board, Gillian, and she runs a charity that actually supports mental health. So in things like this, I want to keep working with her to see how best we can support women who need that. And with wellness, it comes with, as you said, physical health. Physical health is very important. I work full time mostly, and I only get Fridays off. And I have my 2 daughters, as I said, back in the UK, where go, go, go. We like it's non-stop. So Fridays, I'll wake up, I'll drop them at school. I would try and do that on time. I book for swimming, and then I go. And I say this because I didn't know how to swim as a kid. I actually learned in my old age. There's a lot of things that I'm learning, and we shouldn't be stuck in our old ways thinking, oh, I can't do it. We can break certain narratives and break certain like stereotypes as well. I learned to swim, and this was like 15 years ago, and then I refreshed it 2 years ago, especially when as soon as just after I spoke to the psychologist, I went back for lessons. I did 10 lessons, and now I'm an avid swimmer, and I can go longer lengths in the water. And then also, I think our sexual health. We've got a sexual health well woman nurse coming in. She's a specialist in well women and in women's bodies and stuff. There's fibroids, there's cysts, there's endometriosis. There's so many things that are going on in the reproductive organs of women, that I think we need to even learn to say, I'm going to go for a checkup, even before something happens. I think earlier on in the conversation, I was talking about like our posture, even how we sit, it affects our spine. We'll go through labor, and sometimes we'll have epidural, which can affect your spine. And I think for my first daughter, I had an epidural, even though it was a natural birth, but there's times where I feel just a pinch in there. Yeah. And of course, if you've gone through a cesarean, there's even more chances that you've been in a lot of pain. So being aware of all these little things that we take for granted is a whole part of wellness. And I think we have a friend who's joining from Nigeria, and she has a travel brand. She is a testament, that lady. Her story isn't for another day, but I said to her, I keep pushing people. So I push people to bring out the best in them. But she can travel to so many different countries in Europe, get a visa and literally go on a budget. And so she's going to come and enlighten women on actually being able to live enjoyment, on a budget. You don't have to be scared like you don't have money. And I started doing that. I went on my first solo trip since being a mom last year. I went to Malta. I had so much fun. And it's everything. It's lifestyle. It's money. It's so much. Like, I kid you not, when I say wellness, I'm not talking about just going to the gym. Trust me, it's a big part. And oh yes, so talking about gyms, right? I've got my Zumba instructor, and Zumba is dancing, but it's fitness dancing. I've got her, she's got a pre-recorded, because she's got an event on Saturday. So she pre-recorded a session for me, and we're going to have that. So we're going to actually get people standing and doing a little Zumba, because you can actually work out through dance. Yeah. It shouldn't be just machines. Don't be scared. So I think that's what wellness to me encompasses, is every bit of you.
Fantastic. I mean, it's a very packed activity.
Very.
And so let's talk about money. Obviously, there should be some sort of
So with I think earlier you asked like the target market. So it's, to be honest with you, I just don't know how to make people who are underprivileged feel like they don't have to get help. So I think there's the part of me, I'm a very emotional, sentimental person. And I think I want to reach out to everyone and anyone, but of course there's funds. With this one, I've funded most of it in terms of like a lot of the background stuff. My husband has been a good support as well. But it is paid, so it's really highly subsidized, and I think the cost only covers like food. So we have that for this year's one. But mostly this is where I'm entreating anyone who sees this, because we're coming back next year, we're coming bigger. And so I would entreat you to actually jump on board now before I'm too big. Just joking. But I would just love for the right sponsors to come on board. So we're still learning, my team and I. We sent out emails to a lot of like the institutions in Ghana, banks, media houses, to just get like even a platform like this, just to speak about it. Most of it, I think we were quite late, so it didn't come on time. But that's okay. We're going to go back and hit hard for next year, because we know how it works now. But for funding, it's self-funded at the moment. So my bank account is crying. It's crying. It's really crying. And the currency, that currency thing is confusing me.
I can imagine.
So the pound is not pounding.
Yeah.
Well,
for now.
for now. So yeah, that's it. I think we just need support from anyone who wants to support any public figures. Right now we have Quintea, who won Miss Malika. Sorry, not Miss Malika. My apologies. Ghana's Most Beautiful.
Okay,
2022. So we reached out to her, and it's funny, she knew me through a mutual, which was good. So we reached out to her, and she's coming with us to just do like behind the scenes of the venue. We're doing a food tasting. You're welcome anyway. We're doing a food tasting of the menu. Oh my gosh, the menu. You will be blown away. Like there is, and I don't play when it comes to food. I don't eat a lot of foods, but I like to feed. So there is going to be amazing food. There's going to be a minstrel who's just going to be serenading everyone with beautiful music just to calm everyone. So yeah, we need more support in the form of cash.
So make sure you're there on Saturday. It looks like it's a place to be. Before we wrap up, so what is the vision? How do you see this network growing? What would you want to achieve in the future with this network?
So with this network, I want to get a woman who feels like she's alone, to know that she's not, to know that it's okay to go through the rough seasons, but there's always light. I want everyone to actually believe that we're the light of the world, so we need to let our light shine. And I'd love for us to grow, whereby like you're in the UK, the US, you're in Kenya, you're in even like Gomwa. I use Gomwa because that's where my parents are, my mom's from. Any part of Ghana to feel like, or the world to feel like, okay, I have sisters. And this is genuine sisters, not people who stab you in the back kind of, no, we don't do none of that. To actually rely on. So if I'm coming to Ghana, can I, if my child is going to a school in the US, can I reach out to you? I want us to thrive where there's just, I'm a kumbaya, my lord kind of person. It's weird. People sometimes think that's so weird to be that kind of person, but I like to just think we can live in peace. So I want people who want that to come with me. I want people who are going through fertility issues, people who are struggling to talk, who have been married for 10 years and like everyone is looking at them like, when is the baby coming? And they're just giving up to actually call me and say, okay, Abena, I need this support. So I get emotional. But I think that's where we're going. I'm hoping that over time, the more interest that we get, I want to finish Saturday first, and then we launch the next step. So it's still baby steps. I'm still balancing being a mom too. So yeah,
that's not easy.
It's not.
So I mean, all the best. I'm wishing you all the best going forward, and of course we'll be here to keep an eye out on how the growth happens, and we're always available to support. So for those of you who are available, make sure you're there on Saturday. I'll check my schedule and see if I can make it as well, and give you some feedback from there. Thanks for coming to
Thank you. And just to say, there's limited available space. So if you don't get in now, it's okay. We'll still hold on for next year, and next year we'll put a expression of interest very early, just so that we gauge the numbers, and then we know the venues that we're going for. But please, if you want to get in now, because Ghanaians, we like last minute. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
For the platform.
So stick and stay for more exciting content only on Ameyaw TV. Bye bye.